What's up and welcome to another episode of Chopstick Travel. My name's Luke Martin and today I'm so excited to announce we are in Penang, Malaysia. This is an island of food. It is absolutely teeming with street food, Indian food, Chinese food, and of course Malay food, and we are going to be sampling it all over the next couple days. Today is our first day and we have come here to eat. So let's just get started. We are heading for breakfast now.
Sudah berapa kali? 3 kali ya? 3 kali ya? Bangkuang mau nak? 3 saku? Bangkuang? Kecil ya mas? Kecil ayo?
Prawn?
Ini vegetarian, pork. Ini ada prawn, vegetarian, ada pork.
Let's get, okay, we'll get the three kinds.
Yeah. Korea, Erla.
Huh?
Korea.
Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So for breakfast today, we are at this really cool dim sum restaurant. So we're having some Chinese food for breakfast and we've got 4 different dishes. We have to eat a lot today, so we didn't get too much, but they had a lot of good looking stuff. So the first up, we've got the cha shao bao, which is these fluffy buns stuffed with braised pork, and those are steamed. Over here, we've got the xiao mai, which is also a pork-filled dumpling with some roe on top, and then in that nice yellow egg wrapper, and there might be some prawn in there as well. Over here we've got the har gao, which is these kind of crystal clear dumpling skins packed with, looks like a little bit of veggie in there, and then also some prawn. And then we've got this tri-colored dumpling, so we've got 3 different kinds. We've got the yellow kind, the green kind, and the white kind. I'm not exactly sure what's in each of them. We'll try them all out. So let's dig into this. This looks really good. Pour a little bit of soy into my tray here, and I'm gonna go for these xiao mai first. They look really good. Let's grab one of those, a little bit of soy sauce. Let's try that. Not the best xiao mai I've ever had, but it does have a nice kind of bouncy texture. It's sort of like a meatball encased in that egg wrapper. And I don't think there was any prawn in that one, surprisingly. Chase that down with a little bit of tea. You need to drink tea when you're having dim sum. Oh yeah, a little bit sweet. Let's move on to the next thing here. So let me try this har gao over here. The prawn, crystal prawn dumpling. I'm gonna dip this in a little bit of soy too. Let's try that. That wrapper is nice and soft. There is a little bit of crunchy, I think it's carrots in there, and then maybe some green onions as well. And then that has a nice shrimp flavor to it as well. So next up is the cha shao bao. I grab one of these, and I'm actually just gonna rip it apart here because these are pretty big. Eat it with my hands, so I grab a piece here. Oh, that looks good. And cha shao bao is always my favorite dim sum item. Nice. That pork on the inside isn't as tender as some cha shao baos I've had, but it is really flavorful. It's really sweet, almost like caramelly, and the wrapper is nice and fluffy, kind of like a pillow. That's a pretty good cha shao bao. That's my favorite so far. Next up are these mystery dumplings. Maybe I'll go for this yellow one. I'm gonna bite it in half so we can see what's inside. Oh man, that was quite juicy. And I think that might be filled with crab. I think that's crab in there. That is quite good. Let's try the white one next. I'm guessing this one's probably pork. Let's try that. Yeah, pork. Oh man, those are nice and juicy dumplings. And the wrappers are really soft. That is good pork. Last up is the green one. I'm guessing now that this is gonna be vegetables. Let's try that. Vegetables and pork. Oh, that one's my favorite for sure. I think those are mustard greens inside. Oh man, that has a nice kind of earthy vegetable flavor to it. Oh, those dumplings were good. The atmosphere at this restaurant is really cool. It's kind of half indoors, half outdoors. And you can just go up to the counter and point at whatever dim sum basket you would like, and they will charge you accordingly. I wouldn't say it's the best dim sum I've ever had, but we didn't eat too much, so we're still a little bit hungry. We're gonna go try something else that's really close by. So our next stop today is not for a food, but for a drink. And Malaysia is famous for all of their interesting types of drinks, and this has got to be one of the most complex drinks I have ever ordered in my entire life. So this is called an Ais Tingkap, and this is just a thing of beauty. It is bright red. The way that he made it is just mixing a lot of ingredients. He started off with some sugar water. I saw him mix rose water in. He put lots of shaved ice. You can see all those basil seeds floating around on top there. In Taiwan, we call them frog eggs because they kind of look like little eggs. He also used a spray bottle to spray a mixture of spices in water on top of it. He cracked a coconut, used coconut water, and he also used the coconut flesh. You can see it floating on top there, some coconut flesh. And then there's even some ingredients that I'm not familiar with. So the owner gave me this pamphlet which explains the history of the stall. And this place has been around since 1919 when the owner brought it over from Sri Lanka. And the ingredients that I'm not familiar with are listed here, the Malay name. So maybe if you know the English names, let me know down in the comment box. It's called Kempang Semenguk, and then also Geta Angor. This one is called a rubber grape, and this one, it doesn't look like it has an English name. So this has got to be one of the most complex, as I said, drinks I've ever ordered. So let me try this out here. Oh man, that is so refreshing. And those little basil seeds kind of pop in your mouth, and you can taste kind of almost like those Indian spices in there. Let me try a piece, if I can get a piece of the coconut flesh. Okay, there we go. Let's try that. Oh man, that is so refreshing. It is super, super hot here in Penang, and that coconut kind of has a sweetness to it, but also kind of that tropical coconut flavor. Oh man. Oh, that's too good. That rose essence gives it kind of a floralness too. That is a very complex flavor profile for a drink. That was a really delicious and interesting drink, and the owners of that stall are extremely friendly. We are going to leave all the information for all the places we visit here in Penang down in the description box, so if you guys want to check them out, you can find all the information to do so down there. So now we are going to head to get some lunch. For lunch today, we are having some more Chinese food. We are at this really humble restaurant, but it is quite busy, and they are serving a type of food called Teochew food, which is a region in southern China. So as you can see here, we have a spread of many things, but the main thing here is this. This is the rice porridge. So it is a very plain rice porridge, and what you're supposed to do is mix it in with all these other ingredients. So we have a couple different things, and they're all braised. So over here we've got braised duck. I think it's a mixture of soy and maybe vinegar, probably some sugar in that braising sauce. So this is the duck. We've got a sauce here in the middle, looks like a spicy sauce. This is the pork belly, nice lean and fatty pieces of pork there. Back here we've got braised hard-boiled egg, And then also we've got some vegetables. These are pickled mustard greens. So this looks really good. I'm just gonna grab a couple of these things and throw them into my porridge. Let me grab a piece of the pork belly first. Make sure I get some of that sauce. I'm gonna put that in my porridge and get a little bit of porridge. And let's try that. Oh, the sauce is so good. The porridge, very plain. Not even any saltiness whatsoever. But that pork belly is so ridiculously tender. And it has a little bit of a saltiness and a little bit of a sweetness from that sauce. That is really good. Let me try a piece of the duck. I'm gonna dip it in that spicy sauce this time. A little bit of sauce. Try that by itself. This is just comfort food. And that sauce, it was a little bit spicy, not very much though, and a little bit sweet as well. That duck is super tender and oily. Next up, let's try these pickled mustard greens. These look good. Oh, those are awesome. Oh, those are so good. They're super sour. That is just the way that I like them. And let's take one of these eggs next and put it right in my porridge. Get a little bit of rice there. This is one of the true joys of Penang, and that's why it is such an amazing island, because you can have authentic Chinese food like this outside of China, and you can also eat, obviously, authentic Indian food, authentic Malaysian food as well. This porridge with all these braised dishes is seriously good. I especially love this duck. The duck has just so much oiliness to it, and if you dip it in a little bit of this spicy sauce here, gives it a little bit of heat and a little bit of sweetness, and it goes really nice with the porridge. Oh man, that was really good. Finished off with our lunch. That was some seriously good Chinese food. All those braised dishes were just mouth-watering and super tender. That place is called Tai Buan Porridge. Again, you can find the information down the description box for some authentic Chinese food. This is your spot here in Penang. So now we're gonna head to get some dessert. We are going to get a coconut. We've got our coconut here. This is a place called Anba Coconut Trading Company. They sell, I think, wholesale coconuts, but you can also come here to just have a drink. And it is winter here in Penang. It is almost the start of December, but it is about 30 degrees Celsius today, so it's still really hot. You definitely need to make sure you are taking in lots of liquids, especially when you're going around eating all day. So let me try this coconut out here. Oh man, oh that's delicious. It's just like the perfect amount of sweetness, extremely refreshing, and it's not hot. They've kept them in the shade. They're not cold, but it's definitely not hot, so it's still really refreshing. Oh man, coconut water just tastes so healthy and nutritious and delicious. Oh man, that's perfect for today. Like Luke said, there is nothing better than a coconut on such a hot day like today. I'm gonna try it out now. It's actually really full of flavor. It's quite delicious.
That was a big coconut.
It is. Cheers.
Cheers.
Finish off with our coconuts. That was extremely refreshing, and there's actually a lot of liquid in those. And maybe you can tell, but it's actually starting to rain a little bit right now. So we're gonna head back to our apartment, relax for a little bit, and tonight we are going to head to a hawker center to do some more eating. It is nighttime here in Penang, and we have come to a food court or hawker center called the Sungai Food Paradise, and already I can smell all kinds of different aromas, and there is a lot of stalls here, so we're gonna take a peek around, see what looks good, but I am ready to eat. So the first stall I noticed as soon as I came in here, there was a huge plume of smoke, and that is an ikan bakar stall, so they are grilling fish. And they have this huge boat with ice and all kinds of different seafoods, so we're gonna pick some out and order it up.
30 ringgit. 30 ringgit? Yeah.
30 ringgit. They have all the fresh seafood laying out there, full fish. I saw scallops, all kinds of different seafoods, but we ended up going with the stingray. That is one of my all-time favorite ikan bakar items, ikan pari stingray. And I don't know if you can hear, but they're playing Christmas music on the radio, and it is still like 30 degrees out, but it's Christmas time. This is chicken?
Yeah, chicken.
What's this?
Lamb.
Lamb. Not at me. The way that this place works is you just tell them your table number. You can go around to any stall and then they will bring it over to your stall or to your table, and you pay when the food arrives. So I'm gonna order up some satay. There's some really good looking satay over here. We are sitting down now and all of our food has arrived. I just love the style of dining, sitting out on the road, and then the people just bring the food from their stalls to you, and we have 3 amazing looking dishes. So over here is a Penang famous dish, the char kway teow, which are these flat noodles. They have been fried up with some bean sprouts, some chives in there, lots of egg, and I can almost smell like a nutty aroma coming from those. Over here we have satay ayam, which is chicken satay. They're making them traditional way using charcoal and a bamboo woven fan, and then also served with a little bit of a peanut and maybe some spicy chili oil in there too. And then back here, my mouth is just watering. This looks too good. This is the pièce de résistance, the sambal ikan pari, which is stingray, and it's just covered in that sambal sauce, which is that Malaysian spicy sweet paste, and then that has been grilled on top of a banana leaf. This just looks super, super good, so let's dig in. I'm gonna start with the char kway teow. Make sure I get some of those bean sprouts, some noodles, and that looks so good. Oh, yum. Oh, that's a little bit spicy actually. Those bean sprouts have like a really earthy crunch to them, and then those noodles are like perfectly cooked. It's got a little bit of a sweetness and also some sort of a nuttiness. So I'm not sure if there's some peanut in there, but it's got a little bit of a nuttiness. That is a really good char kway teow. Check that out. Those are some beautiful looking noodles. Let's have one more bite. Oh yeah. Let's try the satay ayam. It looks like maybe that was marinated with some spices. It's yellow, so I'm guessing probably a little bit of turmeric. And I'm gonna dip that in the peanut satay sauce. Let's try that. Oh man, super smoky, super tender, and super smoky. And chase that with a cucumber. Oh man, that is good satay. There was like half meat and half fat, and the fat completely liquefied. Okay, the moment I've been waiting for. Let's try this stingray. If you guys have never had stingray, it is just like any other fish, but I almost can compare it to chicken because it's just such a thick white fish. And check that out, covered in sambal, and there's also, I think this is a sambal on the side too. And I'm gonna dip a little bit extra, get some onions on top there, and let's try that. Oh man, that is beautiful. That is some seriously tender stingray, super meaty, super hearty, and the sambal that they put on top is really spicy. Like, that is definitely the most spicy dish we've got here. Actually, I'm gonna chase that with my tea ice here, my iced tea with milk. Ooh, a little bit sweet, but man, everything here, you can just taste that like smokiness. There's just smoke kind of infused in all 3 of our dishes here. Those satay have that charcoal smoke. That char kway teow has that wok flavor, smokiness from the wok, and then the grilled stingray, of course. This is a trifecta of delicious dishes. Okay guys, that's gonna be it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed. What an incredible day. We did pretty much nothing but eat today, and that is okay with me. That is the joy of Penang. There is absolutely so much delicious food. All of the places we ate today are going to be listed down in the description box, so you can find them when you come to Penang yourself. And we are going to be here for the next few days because there's so much food to discover here, and we're going to be filming it all. So make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified when we post a video, and expect a lot more from us here in Malaysia. And we'll see you again very soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.